What?
Let's dig in. Well, I mean, Hailey, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. It's such a great, unique, distinctive world that you've built. So let's just start with some of the early inspirations, early conversations. What were the initial seeds that you had?
I was very inspired by satires like MASH and by Robert Altman and To Be or Not to Be by Ernst Lubitsch. And I don't know, I felt like there were so many anti-war movies made about Vietnam by great directors, and there are not very many made about the Iraq War. There's some about the Desert Storm and that sort of thing. But I just wanted to make a satire about it, because I felt like there was a strange hole that needed to be filled by something like this that no one asked for.
Timeline. When did you start having the initial thoughts, and how did it
Initially, I wanted to make a documentary about it, so
okay.
I visited many of the bases and was trying to ingratiate myself with the military. Yeah. And they're sort of like generous about taking you on a tour, but they didn't really want to do my type of filming. So I thought the world was so disturbing and so ripe for a satire, and at the time I got this amazing opportunity to do one of the Mimi Women's Tales short films, and I went to them and I said, I have an idea. I thought they would say no, but they were very kind and they let us do it, and so we made the short. And then, I don't know, that was kind of that. And then Alia and I had a sort of dark night of the soul together when some of our other projects were not going well. And we spoke to each other and we were like, God, we have this world and this character in each other, so we went forth.
Let's continue that thought with Alia. Congratulations. So I invite you to pick up where Hailey left off. Let's talk about that dark night of the soul and some of those conversations y'all were having, and where they came from and how they evolved.
There was alcohol, candles. No, I think it was in the middle of the day. But yeah, I mean, like most actors or creative people, things don't go the way you want them to most of the time. And we had this like frustrating moment. Hailey had written another project. I was, something had fallen apart. And yeah, we were just like, we have to embrace what we have, this like beautiful gift. And I was like, yeah, we'll write the script. I put all the work on Hailey. I was like, I'll be here on the other side. And she was like, okay. And within like a week, I swear, she had this amazing outline because she's incredibly smart. And maybe two. But then she was like, okay, so what's something you haven't done before though? Like, what can we add to the short that's not there? And I said I had never done a romance. Because the world doesn't like to see me that way. But I was like, yeah, I'd love to do a romance. So she infused that, and it wasn't that long where all of a sudden she had this like amazing bones of the script. And it kind of just went from there, and like trying to get the money, getting actors involved.
And then you called me and you're like, hey, I'm pregnant.
Yeah. All right, that.
Oh my God, congratulations, that's amazing! And then I hung up the phone and I was like, wait a second.
We thought we could shoot it before without showing for a while, and then it just kept getting longer and longer to get the money. And I was like, so we're not gonna be able to hide this. And I think with Rel, Hailey's partner, we were like talking about like if I was pregnant in the movie, and Rel was like, yeah, so you're pregnant. And I said, is that a problem? And we laughed, and that made it in the movie.
I want to bring Callum as well. Tell us, Callum, welcome, congratulations as well. So, did it start with a script? Did it start with a phone call? Tell us about the early conversation.
I think it was like January 3rd. I get an email from Alia. She says, I've got this film I'm going to do with a friend of mine. Here's the short, see what you think. And I don't know if you guys have seen the short, but it's fucking incredible. And I laughed my head off in the morning in my bed. I just thought I got to do it. And Alia and I had been agreement when I was looking for any opportunity to jump in again with her, so it was a no-brainer.
And it was really important for us, you know, given the physical state that Alia was in, to find someone that she could be really comfortable with. And we were very lucky to have him for many reasons.
And Cal's not the father, just to be clear. Separate things.
She was 8 months pregnant by the time I told her.
Surprise! Let's do a movie about it.
Hailey, when Alia was talking about the writing of the film and the financing, it all sounded so simple just now.
Yeah.
But tell us about that. Maybe it was. Did the film, did the idea and the script kind of flow from short to feature that easily, or had you already been kind of like ruminating?
Well, it was nice to have a directive, you know,
Right.
the romance. I was like, huh,
Okay.
okay. So that was really nice, and Luca Guadagnino came on board.
So tell us about
produce
that.
it. I was acting in Challengers, and someone got COVID. Woo! And someone got COVID, so I was there for like a really long time, even though I'm in the movie for like 5 seconds. And we were talking, and I was frustrated, and he was like, let's make another movie. And I was like, what? And he was like, send me a script in a month. And I was like, okay. And Alia was shooting Drift in Greece, which played here last year, with Naima Abed, one of our fantastic producers, who also produced Call Me By Your Name. So the 4 of us were like, oh shit, like, let's go forth.
So when Luca Guadagnino says, give me a script in a month, is that like a month later you deliver it, or are you sort of like, okay, let's...
Yeah, I mean, it
talk about
was
this?
such a vote of confidence for me, and he's like, I just did not want to disappoint him, and it was a really romantic writing experience in a way, because I was writing towards him, you know, so I knew he would be my first reader, which is just stupidly lucky.
And did that first draft, what you shared with him, does it look and feel a lot like what we have just watched?
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar. I mean, barring the pregnancy stuff, yes. Barring the "Are you trying to have twins?" line. Absolutely disgusting. Do not.
I feel like the poop stuff played well with this crowd.
So how fluid or open were you with the script evolving? How did you guys collaborate moving into the shooting process?
Yeah, I mean,
Stitching close for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the most specific world, I think, ever. So, there was some improv, but it was all very much there, you know, on the page, kind of, because there's like a structure, and it's also, watching it now, it's like, it does have a quality of MASH, where it's like, these different worlds happening, and just like creating this kind of environment, you know, and then the romance guiding you through it, but, yeah, I mean, the script was just as it was, and again, Hailey was just very open to adjusting it to make it work, to specify for all of us, you know, for my pregnancy, on all these things, but the script was there. I mean, the story was there.
And when do you get to shoot an 8-month pregnant woman? You know,
Not often enough.
the insurers did not like it. Let me tell you that. They're like, that's sexually considered a disability. No, I swear to God, they did. You talked to them. It kind of is.
This audience has been so joyous and enjoyed the movie so much. I'd love to take 2 questions from the audience to give folks a chance to have a word. I saw you first, so we'll go there and then come right back. Hi.
Hi, I guess you knew me. I don't know. Hi, I wanted to know when, this is for like all 3 of you, when learning more about like the actual like faces and everything, what was like the most surprising part about it, like in researching all of that?
So for each of you, as you learned more about the actual bases, got more context, what was the most surprising?
Yeah.
Yeah, surprising aspect of what you learned, or what you learned surprised you?
The first one I went to was at Pendleton, and I went through the squadron, like through their day. It's a bit like a haunted house or an escape room. It's like, it can be pretty silly. And I turned to the guy that was taking us through, and I was like, there were these like hidden weapons caches, you know, that have like a fake trap door and things like that. And I was like, this is like ridiculous, right? And he was like, well, at least we got rid of the animatronics. And I was like, excuse me? And so I found out that they had been using animatronics on the base, and I found them, and those are the actual ones. Which is really upsetting.
Mine was gonna be the animatronics too. I mean, that's pretty surreal. Yeah, I mean, also like the smell, you know, they have a deal with Glade. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's in the movie. That's so strange. And I mean, all of it's very, very funny and upsetting. Also, just that they actually are there for that period of time. You know, like the whole idea of what she's trading. It's like cigarettes and ramen. It's like, you know, they are kind of living in this like weird camp board set up by choice. So.
Yeah, I would say that they exist are always pretty surprising, and the level of detail that they go to, and the amount of money they spend
Yeah.
to keep them going.
Okay, one more from the audience. I saw a couple other hands. Where am I looking? Oh, I see you. Yeah, I see you now. Yeah.
So, in the short, you know, you had a lot of actresses and actors that played a lot of parts, and you know, you saw like Christian and Alia, of course. How important was it for you to bring them back to the fold as you saw, as well as the actors that you in the film?
So the casting in the short versus the feature, and considering whether to work with some of the same folks, and expanding that. I'm going to add to your question, but expanding that universe, expanding that world.
Well, I'm so in love with Alia and her acting, and I think she's fantastically talented. So it was an absolute pleasure to write for her, and to find Callum in Abu Dhabi was a real treasure for us. I often play small parts in movies, so I wanted to make sure that all the small parts were really fun too. And we have such an amazing cast of characters that many of them are here. Wave your hands. And our wonderful casting director, Mark Callum, is there.
My last question will be for you, Hailey, and that's just, I said it in the intro, but it's just been so amazing to getting to know you and your work and watching your progression as a creative. I mean, this is a hard question to ask. You just premiered your film, but in the time that you had to think about where you are creatively in finishing this film, what did you take from this? What have you taken from this experience of writing this film, shooting this feature? I imagine it propels you intellectually and creatively in a way that must be like a lot.
I woke up every day thinking like, I cannot believe all of these people are here to make this harebrained idea happen. Like it was so lucky. Like I'm getting my period, I'm gonna cry. I thank you all really from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Atropia, congratulations.